Hi everyone, it's TJ. Welcome back to New Zealand Mysteries, or hopefully if you're new, stick around and I'd love to have you here. Today we're doing something a bit different. There is a popular ongoing case over in the USA that I've been following for a long time. It's quite disturbing. And there's been some information released, an affidavit, which I want to get into. Of course, before I do that, I'll give you a bit of a rundown of the case. It's really horrible and involves this monster here, Letecia Stauch, who is arrested at the stage for allegedly killing her 11-year-old stepson, Gannon Stauch. Before we get into it, I am doing a poll in the community page to ask whether you prefer just New Zealand cases or you actually want to branch out and have me do some international ones as well. So go down and take a look at that, and let's get started. We're going to abcnews.com or .go.com, and the reason I'm going here is because it gives you a brief outline of the case if you haven't heard it before. Colorado boy Gannon Stauch's body found 2 months after going missing. Stepmother facing new charges. So this was on the 21st of March 2020 this was released. The remains of an 11-year-old Colorado boy missing since January 27 were found nearly 1,400 miles away from his home Friday, confirming his family's worst fears. Gannon Stauch's body was found near Escambia River Bridge on Interstate 90 near Paso, Florida, by a Florida Department of Transportation construction crew. If I just click over here for you guys, this is the area down here where Gannon was found, and this is where Colorado is, and South Carolina is going to come up as well. The news was devastating to Gannon's mother, father, and younger sister. They're distraught with this information, said El Paso County Senior Deputy District Attorney Michael Allen. They were still holding out hope that Gannon would come home alive. So his dad is in the Army or Air Force and is away in another city doing that, and this stepmother, Letecia Stauch, is staying home with him and his siblings. The discovery of Gannon's remains led Colorado's El Paso County District Attorney's Office to file 9 additional charges against the stepmother, Letecia Stauch, who was arrested for Gannon's murder on March 2nd in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Stauch was the last person to have seen Gannon in late January when she told police he stayed home from school. She told them he went missing that afternoon after leaving the family home to play with a neighbourhood friend. Surveillance video from that day, captured by one of Stauch's neighbours, revealed that she left with the boy in a truck and returned 4 hours later in what appeared to be an empty vehicle. This woman has been a piece of work right throughout. She thinks she's much smarter than everybody else. For weeks, searchers combed fields and streams in the area near Gannon's home by horseback and on foot with no luck. The new charges against Letecia Stauch include 1 count of first-degree murder after deliberation and 8 counts of committing a crime of violence, an enhanced charge that would be used to increase punishment. I filed 8 counts of crime of violence for the alleged use of a firearm, a blunt instrument, a knife, or other sharp object, Allen told reporters. Allen would not elaborate on what he believes happened to Gannon. Florida authorities said they're assisting with Colorado investigation to find out if Stauch was in Florida during a specific time. So they're asking if anyone remembers anything to call these numbers, which I'll actually put in the description box below. Stauch's mother, Landon, told ABC News that she will bury her son in South Carolina, where he spent most of his life. Letecia Stauch faces life in prison without parole if convicted of first-degree murder. It says her next court appearance was in April, but there's been stuff going on because she wanted to represent herself, so that was the latest thing, and then she got denied, or they were fighting over how much time she was allowed in the library to do this, and I think now she's just getting an attorney. She's just like making a fucking mockery of it, really, to be honest. So we're going to go to this next story. I apologise for the quality of the video. I am relatively still new on Facebook. I'm not monetised yet, if I'm ever going to be, and I don't get enough donations quite yet to get a better computer to help me do this, but I'm trying my best. So we're going to krdo.com, and this was just released. The tragic case of Gannon Stauch's disappearance evolved to an alleged murder, and new details in the leaked arrest affidavit reveal police believe Stauch's stepmother lied to investigators and undertook numerous steps to conceal the crime. Letecia Stauch was arrested in early March, more than 1 month after she reported Gannon's disappearance from their Lawson Ranch home on January 27. After weeks of searching, police obtained enough evidence to charge Letecia with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and a slew of other charges. KRDO obtained a copy of the arrest affidavit Thursday night through social media groups connected with Gannon's disappearance. We chose not to publish any details until we got word from the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, since the affidavit was originally sealed to the public. The Colorado courts then unsealed the affidavit late on Friday morning, I should say. The affidavit reveals the work being done by investigators behind the scenes and shows that Letecia tried to deceive them multiple times, including concocting a fictional story about an alleged roast inside her home, resulting in the roaster abducting Gannon. Eventually, investigators found blood inside Gannon's bedroom and GPS location information that followed Letecia's return to the scene near Highway 105 and Perry Park Road, where police believe she originally disposed of Gannon's remains. The document also reveals a possible motive for the brutal killing. Letecia, it seems, was unhappy at home and looking for an escape. For this part, I have used the magnifier to get close, because this is some of the searches, the Google searches that were found, which are really interesting. So between January 25th, January 29, 2020, Letecia viewed websites associated with jobs and apartments in Los Angeles, California, and Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Pensacola, and Florida. She visited a cost-calculating moving website. So she obviously wanted out of where she was. She was not happy. But listen to some of these Google searches. Parenting should be for 4 people, not 1. I'm overdoing all the work for my stepkids and their mum doesn't help. If you aren't involved in your kid's life, you are shitty. My husband's ex-wife does nothing for her kids. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card since I raised her kids. One day, some people will wish they treated you differently. Why should my husband choose me over family? Find a guy who wants me to take care of his kids and get paid. Parents are those who put their kids before their nails. Now, this one's interesting. My son burned the carpet. How do I fix it? How does smoke affect a dehumidifier? Colorado law for kid staying at home. School is out. Is it okay for my kid to stay home alone? Son is sick, but I have to go to work. Son's sick. Can he stay home? Suede repair for sofa. El Paso Sheriff's number. What is the process for a runaway child? Police steps for a runaway. Police steps for a missing child. Today's flight. I think that was about her husband, Al. Can Nintendo find my Switch? And Switch is a gaming console. Car. It seems car, not Volkswagen. The last one. Very interesting. They are asking for our son's toothbrush, but said nothing is wrong. That's a very interesting search. Letecia says she met alleged roaster, Aguado. It's a fun name to pull out of nowhere. Near a construction site. Police believe the story was fictional. She claims Gannon knocked over a candle, burned the carpet. She called Eduardo to fix it, gave him the garage code, and he would fix it the next day. Letecia claims Gannon is up most of Sunday night into Monday morning with stomach problems. Now we go into Monday, January the 27th. At 4:37 a.m., Letecia tells her employer her stepdad was killed after being hit by a car. She won't be into work. At an unknown time, Gannon stayed home from school. Gannon likely alive still in the morning of the 27th. Between 8:13 a.m. to 8:17 a.m., Letecia takes pictures on her cell phone of Gannon sleeping in bed. 10:16 a.m. Neighbours' surveillance video shows her Nissan Frontier with Letecia and presumably Gannon leave the residence. Letecia leaves cell phone at home, and their cell phone is locked between 9:56 a.m. and 2:45 p.m. At 10:37 a.m., text sent from Gannon's phone to Harley, his sibling. Letecia left phone at home. If you need her, text me. At 12:06 p.m., his dad, Al, who is away in the military, Al Stauch sends to Gannon, "Hey, buddy." During this time, Letecia travels to Petco on Nevada Ave. At 11:22 a.m., Letecia completes her purchase. Gannon is not seen on surveillance video from the store. His whereabouts unknown between 11:22 and 1:22 p.m. At 1:21 p.m., Gannon's phone responds to text from Al. "Can I play Zelda at least?" Al replies, "Not today." At 1:22 p.m. that day, Letecia makes another purchase at Petco. 1:43 p.m., Gannon's phone searches, "Can my parent find my cell phone if it's off?" Detectives believe Letecia wrote this. 2:14 p.m., investigators believe Gannon was murdered by Letecia after this timestamp at his residence, more specifically in the bedroom. 2:19 p.m., the vehicle returns. What appears to be Letecia gets out and presumably Gannon, hard to tell by the video. 2:22 p.m. Gannon and Letecia enter the house. Lena is at school and Harley is at work. 2:30. An interview with detectives in February. Letecia tells detectives she's being roasted by Eduardo during this time. During this time, ADT motion sensors show movement between upstairs and downstairs. 2:45 p.m. Letecia unlocks her phone. At 3:15 p.m., Letecia claims this is the last time she saw Gannon leaving residence to go play with friends. Lena returns home from school, and Letecia tells her that Gannon is asleep in her bed and instructs Lena to go outside and play. Detectives believe Letecia was cleaning up blood during this time. 3:30 to 3:42, surveillance video shows Lena outside riding her bike. Between 3:41 and 4:20 p.m., several text messages between Letecia and Harley and Al. 3:55 p.m., Al Stauch sends message to Gannon's phone. "Hey, buddy." The message wasn't read until 7:40 p.m. Detectives believe that Gannon was already deceased, so it's likely that it was Letecia that looked at the message. 4:42 p.m., Harley, Letecia's daughter, arrives at home from work in a white Jetta, picks up Lena and leaves residence. 4:52 p.m., Letecia sends text to Harley asking her to pick up items from the store. The text reads, "Carpet powder, 2 things, baking soda, trash bags." Very interesting. That is a very interesting shopping list. 5:14 p.m., a receipt shows the purchase of trash bags, baking soda, vinegar, and happened at 5:14 p.m. It was later found in the Tiguan, I'm going to say, which was Letecia's car. It is during this time detectives believe Letecia cleaned up the mess left behind by killing Gannon. On February 1st, detectives found blood present in Gannon's bedroom, the hallway leading to the utility room from the bedroom, utility room itself, the staircase leading upstairs, the pathway to the garage, and the garage area itself. She's a busy lady. At 6:55 p.m., Letecia calls 911 to report Gannon missing. 10:09 p.m. deputies respond and are unable to locate Gannon. Deputies observed Volkswagen Tiguan was backed into the garage. Deputies go into Gannon's room. Detectives later compare body camera footage of the room compared to photos taken earlier in the day and show Gannon's bed with different bedding and sheets, and it moved against the wall. So it seems right from the beginning that these cops were noticing some stuff and, doing their job really well. Tuesday, January the 28th at 5:14 a.m, Letecia texts a babysitter and says, "This happened after 3:30. We talked to him then and told him to be home by 6. The sitter said, someone posted he wasn't at school either." Letecia, "He had to go to doctor for his stomach, but he was here in the afternoon." Sitter, "Where did he say he was at?" Letecia, "Honestly, I don't keep up with friends. And I've had children. My children are growing. But I damn well knew their friends and I damn well knew where they were going. And that's just what a parent does." So when she says, "Oh, I don't keep up with friends, I don't know who it was," what a load of shit. Anywho, rest of the day, 8:30 a.m, a receipt shows Letecia rents a 2019 Kia Rio from Avis Rent-A-Car in Colorado Springs. Why? She's got a car. 8:48 a.m, Letecia texts Harley to pull her car, the white Jetta, into the garage. 8:50 a.m, Letecia picks up Al from the airport, that's the dad. They stop at King Soopers, Wendy's, and then head back to home in Lawson Ranch. At 12:57 p.m, there is a search on Letecia's phone. Can Nintendo find my Switch? Which we sort of heard of before. 4:04 p.m. to 4:17 p.m, investigators ask Letecia for Gannon's toothbrush for DNA. At 4:19 p.m, Letecia texts Al, "They are asking for our son's toothbrush, but said nothing is wrong." Letecia, "Something isn't right. I think they're hiding something." Al, "Who, the police?" Letecia, "Yes, they asked for toothbrushes." Al says, "What do you think they're hiding?" 7 p.m, Letecia picks up the Tiguan she left earlier that morning at the airport short-term parking lot. 7:02 p.m, the receipt shows Letecia leaving the airport with the Tiguan. Between 7:02 and 12 a.m. of the 29th, detectives believe Letecia used the Tiguan to dump Gannon's remains. Between 8:30 and 10:20 p.m, location data from Tiguan shows vehicle was in the area of Highway 105 Perry Park Road, which is not far from their home. Phone data from the Tiguan shows vehicle in, south of Douglas County. That's just USA stuff that makes no sense to me. Sorry, guys. 9:16 p.m. to 9:28 p.m, data from the Tiguan shows car driving into rural area near Highway 105 and then driving out. So this is a rural area that she really has no business being in. There's nothing there, so why was she going there? Of note, Harley's phone shows near Stauch residence. Detectives don't believe Harley was with Letecia at this time. 10:26 p.m, Harley leaves Stauch residence and detectives believe she picked up Letecia near Powers and Carefree. 10:45, Letecia makes statement to investigators via text message. This will be interesting because this atrocious woman has played the victim since it began. So she says this to the investigators: "What do you want from me? Because I have nothing. One of your very own led me to what you guys were doing. I did nothing or am being set up. I am not really even sure, other than being told that another blew with El Paso. I was told I couldn't go home to sleep. On top of that, men were sent to a home with a minor female and she was forced to stay there and not to even have good. Every conversation that said, even at this moment, I can hear inside, what do you want from me?" Detective Bethel says, "Come talk to me. I would just like information to find Gannon." She's a prolific writer. She wrote a lot of notes to the judge in her case, trying to point out why she was innocent and why she shouldn't be there and all this bullshit. Wednesday, January 29th, 2020, 9 a.m. Rental Kia Rio returned the morning of January the 29th. Letecia was picked up by someone driving her car, the white Jetta, presumably Harley. So the rental that she hired is now gone back. At 11:30 a.m, surveillance video captures the Tiguan at the car wash with potential blood on the black bumper. I don't know if that's black bumper or back bumper. Could be the back black bumper. 12 p.m, Letecia arrives at El Paso Sheriff's Office for interview with detectives 2 hours late. Letecia brings several pieces of paper with her with notes for interview with detectives. The Tiguan, Letecia's vehicle, was wet. During the interview, Letecia claims she was held at gunpoint, roasted by a Hispanic male named Eduardo, and Gannon was abducted by male after he finished roasting her. Claims man was in the basement when she came home the 27 of the 1st, allowing her to greet Elena. Claims man roasted Letecia between 3:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Claims she may have hit her head and she blacked out. Claims Gannon jumped on his back. Claims the roaster threw Gannon across the room, held him at gunpoint and demanded a suitcase and a cardboard box. She claims she cleaned up the area. Detectives offer Letecia a roast exam and she denies it. Detectives seize Letecia's phone. End of the interview. Letecia sticks tissues down her pants, claiming chest pain and shortness of breath. Letecia was transported to hospital. The Tiguan was seized from Letecia. I'm not quite sure why she stuck stuff down her pants. I don't get that. If you understand what she was doing, let me know in the comments, because I don't get it. So she went to the hospital. She leaves hospital without telling investigators. She picked up by an unknown person and seen reunited with her daughter Harley several miles away at an unknown time. Investigators find multiple carpet brushes with suspected carpet fibres on them in the dishwasher at the Stauch residence. Investigators locate an empty gallon of vinegar. Letecia rents a 2020 Nissan Altima, and the investigators were able to put a GPS tracking device on it. Thank goodness these guys are on the ball, because, she's making lots of little mistakes, and they're sort of there for every one of them. Letecia then, at 2:14 p.m, texts Nicole, the homeowner, I think. When we come back inside from the smoke, there was blood on both of us. I didn't know what to do. I was scared I would get something out about it, and I don't know if we should go to the doctor. I kept trying to add the candle thing, but Albert kept saying it was small and minor. I was scared the basement was smoky, and when I threw the cover, everything we both had blood. Letecia said, "You don't understand how it is to be a stepmom." Just a quick break. If you know anything about this case, I'll have the actual numbers in the description box below, along with all this information as well. We have a fantastic Facebook group. Love to have you there. nzmissing@gmail.com if you want to get hold of me, suggest cases or anything like that. Big shout out to Donna, who went to buymeacoffee.com/nzmysteries and shouted me a coffee. I really do appreciate the donations. They go a long way on YouTube, and they also go a long way on Facebook, because I get to pay for the videos to be shared throughout New Zealand, and they just go so much further. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell to all, and share it where you can. Alright, let's get back into it. That line from her, "You don't understand how it is to be a stepmom," cry me a river. She's playing the victim once again, which she just keeps doing. So Friday, January the 31st, 4:16 p.m. to 5:30 p.m, Letecia heads back to Douglas County in the Nissan Altima, which she has just rented, near Highway 105, Perry Park Road. Detectives believe she went back to make sure Gannon's remains were not seen near the road, and evidence of his body was covered up. Saturday, February the 1st. Detectives find possible traces of blood on the rear of the vehicle, a rear passenger seat, front passenger seat, and area near the glove box. Over the next few weeks, detectives conduct more thorough searches through the Stauch house. Blue star is used to find the presence of blood in Gannon's bedroom, the hallway leading to the utility room from bedroom, utility room itself, the staircase leading upstairs, pathway to garage, and the garage area itself. So she did not do a very good job of cleaning, that's for sure. Thank goodness, I guess, because that means the police were able to find it. In Gannon's room, suspected blood is found seeped through the carpet, through the pad, and stained the concrete. Bloodstain and blood splatter were located on the wall in this area. 50 droplets of suspected blood were found on walls near Gannon's bed. Gannon's mattress had a red stain on the carpet and blood cast on the wall. Experts say bloodstains on the walls were likely created by gunshot, blunt force, or a stabbing. Suspected blood is found behind or around the edges of an electrical socket next to Gannon's bed. Wednesday, February the 12th, investigators start focusing their efforts in Douglas County. So Douglas County is where they believe she had dumped him at this stage. Thursday, February 13th, investigators start monitoring phone calls between Letecia and Al, and Al's the dad. They claim her story continually changed. Letecia states Gannon was burned with a candle to the point his skin bubbled. Gannon peeled the burns off and wiped blood on his bedroom wall. What the hell? Al did not ask about the blood on the wall before Letecia made that comment. She's making mistakes. Friday, February the 14th, phone call between Letecia and Al shows 4 more stories. Different stories, of course. First story, when the sheriff's office came to the house on the 27th of January, the abductor was still in the house, and she tried to tell deputies that somebody was there. Sheriff's office deputies checked the entirety of the house, and no additional person was located. Second story, she was roped by Quincy Brown at her home, and Brown abducted Gannon. She knew Brown's identity because she saw a paper with his ID and fell out of his pocket. Letecia sent a photo of Quincy Brown to Al via text. Okay, so what happened to Eduardo? Story number 3. Quincy followed her from Petco. At some point was laying in the middle of the road in front of her. When she stopped not to run him over, he jumped in the car and made her take him home, where he roasted her. The fourth story. Letecia and Gannon were near County Line Road and Highway 105 in El Paso County on 27th of January. Gannon was riding a bicycle in the area and fell, hit his head, and was then abducted by Quincy Brown. Brown was driven by a man named Terrence. Oh my God, no wonder I'm getting tongue-tied. This is ridiculous. Letecia tells investigators searches in that area would be futile. How would she know that? Police believe that Stauch had also fabricated the story after seeing Brown's picture in a lineup of Pikes Peak most wanted fugitives. Right, so that's where she gets him from. I'm thinking, how does she pull the name out of the hat for this guy? It's ridiculous. This is a really desperate, demented person. Saturday, February 15th. Investigators located a piece of particle board during their search. It had a stain that appeared to be blood. Blood profile matched it to Gannon. Gannon's blood was found near Highway 105, Perry Park Road. Investigators think Letecia used the particle board during the disposal of his remains. Letecia tells investigators she told Al Gannon fell off his bike because she thought that's what he wanted to hear. She also said to Al over the phone that the blood in the corner of Gannon's room was a combo of hers and Gannon's. She said the abductor roasted her, and Gannon was present when the sheriff's office came to the house that night. Sunday, February 16th, 7:28 p.m, Letecia told a female that she was giving Al false stories because she knows he won't believe anything she says. So she's just, admitting that she's making shit up, really. Monday, February 17th, 1:53 p.m, Letecia told a female that she was thinking about flying out to Colorado to take a lie detector test to prove her innocence. She said, "They think I'm still in Colorado." 4:11 p.m. Letecia told an unknown female that she's going to take a lie detector test, but the test wouldn't be admissible in court and no law enforcement would be present. You can see what's coming up. I know you can. All right. Tuesday, February 18th, 10:14 a.m. Letecia called 321-247-6876, a number associated with fakepolygraph.com. Letecia tells the caller she never received confirmation for tests she paid for. An unknown male said he'd sent her an email. 11:16 a.m. Letecia calls the number again and inquires about the email. The male says her report was blocked by management because of the questions she wanted on the test. He said any test with illegal activities, the company has the right not to send it. Letecia says, what do you do now? Just delete it and go on about life and keep my money? Male, yes, we do indeed. Letecia said, okay, I gotcha, thank you, goodbye. The detectives reached the male with website and asked for questions she was trying to get answers for. Friday, February 28th. Judge Ruffalo signs warrant for arrest. Monday, March the 2nd. Letecia Stauch is arrested in South Carolina. Sadly, on Friday, March the 20th, Gannon Stauch's remains were found near Paso in Florida. I just don't have any words. If you've followed this case, you'll know what kind of person she is and the things she's done and how she has tried to play the victim. This chick is nuts. I hope that she doesn't get found nuts though, because I don't want her to do that. But she's just demented. She plays the victim. She has made up, she must be into dozens and dozens of stories now. How she was so stupid on some of the things she did. Ungrateful. She was the parent in Gannon's life, the stepmother, not his mother. His mother is lovely, but think of her. She left her son in the care of his dad and this woman, and she lost her son. So it's absolutely terrible. Her antics keep going on and on, so I'll put all the links in the description box below to these stories, so you can go back and read them if you want. And also, if you find it interesting, go and look some more into it, because she's a dumbass thing, and she makes an interesting story sometimes. Thanks very much for sticking around. I will see you next time. Let me know in the comments whether you liked me covering an international story, popular story,